We have got ourselves another Halo Wars 2 commentary video over here. I am playing as Pavium, and this one's going to be a very interesting game. Well, mainly because it's Pavium, right? His plan, his strategy is so different from everybody else, mainly because you have the option to play such a strong economy defensive style game and then try to counter off of that. And so we're going to see what we're going to end up doing. We're going against a Jerome, an Atriox, a Forge. And then we do have a Decimus on our side. I am Pavium. And then we do have a UNSC on our side as well. And if you look at the map, already the enemy has tried to get the supply that's on the left-hand side. Usually I end up doing that, but I did make a chopper to go ahead and try and contest the power, which I was able to do. So we got ourselves a ram, and we're going to end up getting a free kill against the grunts. And my own grunts over here are getting pretty low, so we're going to go ahead and put him into the heal spire. Go ahead and heal him up. And looks like we're going to get some free power. I mean, at the cost of, some supply and power for a chopper that we made. But this is pretty good all in all. So we're going to use that grunt to go ahead and try and do some damage against their supply grunt that they're grabbing right now. And just like that, a minute in, we are already getting some action in this game. And here I decided to just go ahead and self-destruct my supply pad so I can go ahead and get that second gen. I am a little bit delayed in that economy, but I think it's worth going this route. And so using my grunt to go ahead and get the remainder of those supplies over there, yeah, we'll take some damage from that grunt, but all in all, I'll be okay. So we're going to go ahead, and now that we have the supply, to get that gen that we were trying to get, and their grunt ended up leaving that location. They said forget it, they could have the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and send my grunt up top to go ahead and support my chopper. And with the supply that we have, we're pretty much going to have what we need in regards to upgrading that gen when it comes out. Would have been better to hot group that, but did not do that. And so there's that upgrade. That chopper is engaging this grunt, which is actually another free unit that we end up killing. But look at the base. There is a war console, which means a leader is going to be coming out. Their war console came up sooner than mine, mainly because that chopper that I made, there was a delay associated with that. But with the extra map space that I have, I'm going to go ahead and try and steal as much resources that I can from the enemy. And it looks like another grunt has shown up, so I'm going to go ahead and chopper ram that. We're also going to get our second point in burnout, right? There's no point in getting mega turrets just yet if I choose to do so, but this map is kind of good getting a mega turret because you can actually hit the expansion base associated with it. So all in all, we end up killing 3 grunts as a whole. We're going to have these grunts retreat up to the high ground. We're using our other grunts to take the power. And we're going to send that chopper over to the healing spire to go ahead and heal it up. So we do have a second chopper, and there we go. Red has flamethrower vets. That's already starting to hit our teammates' mini base at the top. We're getting our upgrade for our Pavium. We're going to make a chopper associated with it, so we'll get our third one up. Now we're going to use our chopper to just try and do some damage over here. We're going to get a good ram and hit all 3 to get a little bit stagger effect going on. And now we're just going to try and dish out as much damage as possible. The grunts are being microed fairly well against those flame vets. And so now we have burnout ready. We got to be able to use that, and their flame vets are being microed relatively well too, and the grunts are being microed as well to make sure they don't get as much splash damage as possible. And there you go, a heal ends up going down, which is 300 supply and I think like 125 power for those 3 flamers that we Hellbringers. There we go, I remember the name. Hellbringers associated with it, but my Pavium's going to come in and it's going to end up healing that building, and the Pavium just finished getting upgraded as well. Y move is probably going to end up going down if it chooses to, and it looks like we're going to actually save that Y move, and the chopper is just going to go ahead and get rid of everything there. And it's unfortunate because the Y move was used for the Decimus, but we were able to pull the Atriox right on top. Y move is going to be popped by our Pavium. Actually, there we go. Decimus didn't use his Y move, so we got the stun and everything. Y move goes down. Atriox goes down, which is a good indicator to go ahead and expand right away. We did make 1 turret on our base, which is fine. But now we're going to see if we can take that power node that's associated to usually to the enemy. If they captured it by now. If you look at the mini-map, they absolutely did. So we're now working on our second expansion base, right? We got ahead of the game because we got rid of Atriox as the leader. And now we got 1,000 power, which means it's time to go ahead and upgrade this base to Tech 2. We use the chopper to kill out the grunt to help that guy out. Now we're going to go ahead and capture that base up. So now we're going to also see if there's a little expansion base going on. We do have all our units fully healed from the healing spire. Now we're going to see if we can do some pressure over there at Yellow's expansion base. Red does have a little bit of infantry with snipers, right? He did show barracks play with those flamers that we saw earlier. And so I still need to be aware in case the transition ends up coming over to my side to be able to address it appropriately. But I decided to fall back mainly because we can't really fight an Atriox with what we have, which is like, what, a couple choppers and my Pavium. So might as well just fall back entirely, see if we can go ahead and just keep a pressure going all together, get that upgrade going. It turns out we never really used the burnout, so that's quite a mistake that I just noticed right there. Heading over to light blue because he is going to need a little bit of assistance. Hopefully my Pavium will be able to do something in regards to using that Y move, but our third point is going to look like it's going to be Mega Turret. I feel like I will use Mega Turret here, so we're going to see if we're right or not. We are going double foundry because we are going to go my favorite combination for Covey, which is Locust Reaver. Locust Reaver is just so much fun to use, especially with Shipmaster where you get the extra vision, as well as just Pavium where you get the turrets, and Pavium being such a huge tank, especially in Tech 3. So I really like that combination as a whole. And so now we're just teching up, we're building our army up. We do have some choppers that are relatively useless right now, but we're going to try and heal them up. There's a good chance that guy may end up going down. And there's our first Mega Turret. We're also going to make a shield gen just to get this base starting prepped up defensively, just in case a push ends up happening along the way. And now we're going to start making Reavers. I still don't understand why I don't use my hotkeys, more hot groups, more often than not, but it is okay, right? We're still trying to get out of those habits and try and be better. So it's something that will take time. That's another critique that I have for myself, because why not? We're always trying to get better, right? So that grunt is going to go ahead on that right hand side to go ahead and try and get a little bit more information, like are there turrets made, is red trying to sneak somewhere in between. And so far we're not really seeing anything. We did see a Pavium, which is fine, but nothing else really speaks out. And so we're going to go ahead and try and grab the Atriox, but my Pavium kind of scared him away. But Atriox comes right back, gets pulled in by the Decimus, and here we go. Y move gets popped. Decimus missed entirely, which is fine, but it does look like he's going to be able to catch up to that and kill that, and Mega Turret comes in with a huge hit and knocks that out of the park. And there we go, we got our second Mega Turret in place as well, which now gives us the vision. And if you look, we're going to start with the siege, right? So we got ourselves Mega Turrets coming in. We're trying to get the choppers out of turret range. That's kind of embarrassing that that ended up happening. And then we do have the Locust that's already started firing against the sensor tower, but unfortunately the shield gen ends up coming out on time. But we are able to hopefully get rid of that engineer with the Locust and Reaver combination. And now this is where the pressure just continuously happens. So this is what I mentioned by, this is a pretty good Mega Turret map as a whole. Like, you're able to hit that second expansion base relatively well. And with my combination of both Locust Reavers, I just now need to make sure that I'm not in a position where I will take more damage than what I need to. So there goes red with Jerome. I hope I got that right. With his Master Doms as well, but fortunately if I just keep dancing back and forth, I think I'll be relatively fine. And he's starting to get distracted with light blue as my teammate on that side did self-destruct one of the supply gens, because you know what, we need that additional power so we can start getting those upgrades and upgrade our Mega Turrets as a whole to start doing more damage. So red is doing a pretty spectacular job at the moment, keeping light blue busy, but it's not like he's in a very favorable matchup as a whole. And so a little bit of missed micromanagement. I wanted to kill that engineer, but I kind of brought my whole army over, which that's kind of embarrassing. But we're going to go ahead and try and like move our Locust out of that firing range of that situation. And now we're just going to keep trying to find that sweet spot. Atriox is back, which is not necessarily a problem. We can go ahead and use that Y move. But here we go, we got ourselves a cleansing going down. We're trying to split to the best of our ability. We did get a Reaver out there, but we did end up losing our Reaver and Locust associated with it. And now red has shown up as well. And even though light blue has shown up with its anti-air, things aren't really, with its Banshees, things aren't really looking out for my position as a whole. But if we fall back to the shield gen, we're going to be just fine. Vortex does go down, which is always quite nice to see. Another carpet bomb gets called by Cutter. It wasn't another, that was the first one. But all in all, things are just looking like we pushed them off fairly well, which is why Mega Turrets is also very good against a Jerome. They don't do good against Siege whatsoever. But we are going to start making Shrouds. The Banshees over there are just still trying to keep Yellow's army practically close to zero as possible. And now we're going to make some Engineers and Shrouds in order to just continuously keep our units alive. Let's have some longevity in our army. And so now Pavium's going to go ahead and keep trying to do as much damage as possible. Mega Turret's doing damage. Our air pass production is looking pretty great. Our second Locust comes in. Burnout is ready. We go ahead and use it. And we're just flowing, man. We're just flowing right now. But now Red has shown up once again. We have some air that's showing up from Red. And we also have some Masterdoms with Jerome on that right-hand side near the mini base. But it's not something that I'm incredibly concerned at, because it does seem like my teammate and my Mega Turret will be able to have that handled while I go ahead and just keep the pressure going. So Locust is going to continue to come in. We're going to move those Reavers a little bit closer if possible. And now we're going to try and get rid of those turrets associated with it. Those Banshees are doing excellent work. And now we just have a very nice just siege going on. They are switching the vehicles with Wraiths, but that Engineer is just placed very well, so we can go ahead and just be able to defend that appropriately. And now the rest of Light Blue's Banshees are coming in as well. Yellow space is not going to last much longer. And with 3 Locusts coming in and the air, that's pretty much it. So now we're just going to go ahead and try and focus on the last remaining base by Light Blue to see if we can go ahead and get that player eliminated. Orange is still chilling on that side and green is still chilling on that side. It's like they have themselves a standoff over there. So we're going to go ahead and try and just keep on pressuring this side as a whole. We have our Locusts already starting to do damage, to start working on that shield gen. And our Pavium's there to go ahead and just take the majority of the damage as a whole. So shield gen ends up going down, and look, take a look at this. Notice how the Mega Turret is able to hit from my expansion base all the way to the enemy side of the base over here. They have crazy range. That's what I'm saying. It's pretty good to do. And there goes some of its red air by Yellow, by Atriox. Go ahead and try and, you know, counter me some sort of way, but unfortunately the army isn't as big as what they wanted it to be. And so now Shroud comes in with Cloak, and that Atriox is pretty much not going to be doing anything for the rest of this game. So Atriox is trying to do something, but the Shroud is just stopping Atriox's shell from even doing any sort of damage whatsoever. Still alive though with the Engineer and Atriox as a whole, but self-destructs the base. And there you have it. We just got to go ahead and get rid of Atriox, and this game is practically over. You have Light Blue trying to go ahead and dish out more damage against Red. And now that Light Blue was handling both Orange and Red, Green decided to move out and take out Orange's base as a whole. So all in all, I think this was just non-stop action from start to finish. Yeah, the right side of the lane wasn't really much to pay attention to, but you know what? We got what we wanted, which was just to have fun, make units, and just try to do the best we can to just get that W. If we do, that's awesome. If we don't, you know, it is what it is. And so with that being said, I went 11 for 35. My teammate went 31 for 31. My other teammate just went 2 for 3. And the enemy team, the Jerome, went 36 for 29. 28 for 6 by Yellow. That's the one that I was very efficient on. And Orange went 11 and 13. So with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, give a like, comment, subscribe if you want to. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your day. Have yourself a good one. Have yourself a splendid one. Really hope that you enjoyed this. I love commentating wars. And until next time, G out.